Nej, jo, nu kör vi. Det var bara knappen som inte upptäcktes. Hello everybody! Sorry for the confusion here. I didn't see that the stream was starting. Welcome to Wikipedia Weekly Network, where me and Albin Larsson are editing Wikidata live again. Hello Albin, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm great. Got my favorite tea here, and I am looking very much forward to do some Wikidata editing. And how are you?
I'm good as well. Great end of the week here coming up, so yeah. And what will you be editing today?
I will first and foremost be showing off a Spark query map-based that allows you to do things in different colors, and I'm going to show how we can find errors in data using that. We will see what edits that comes from that.
All right. So it's going to be a little bit of an exploratory session here.
Exactly, yeah.
All right.
And you?
I'm going to start using Cradle to create a couple of objects and items, and then we'll see if I might actually do something in Cradle itself as well.
Right.
Because I was inspired this week. I saw this great map again. This floats around once in a while in the community. It shows railway stations and the connections, and I think it is a collaboration, but I think for the actual query, I think it starts. It's James Hild who started it, and I think Mahir256 has been working on it as well. But I got inspired by this and saw that Sweden was quite of a blank spot. And as you can see right now, still it's not very much, because I ran into a wall. Whereas actually the next station on this line doesn't exist. So I couldn't even connect them. So that's where we're going to start today. And to do that, I'm going to try this tool that is called Cradle. And you can find it on Wikidata :Cradle, or you can go to this short capital M $R. It's a little bit of hard short URL, but Wikidata :Cradle. And on that page is actually the definitions of the Cradle, not the tools itself. So here you can see how it's defined. But you find the actual tool here in the top, the Cradle tool. So I'm going to open that in a new tab and see if it loads well here. We got it in English. That's good. Maybe I can even zoom in a little bit here. Yes, like this. And you have these different types of items, which has forms set up for it. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to use this one for railway station and see if we can create some and hook them up to the rest of the world. You should start by defining a label. So I'm going to go first here with a Swedish one. It's the station in Tranås, which is simply called Tranås Station. Good if you can spell. And a thing that might be easy to miss here is in the end you have a little plus sign, so you can go ahead and just do the English as well. And here it's going to be easy because it's going to be the same, or maybe, yeah, it's going to
be the same.
Yeah. And here we'll go add the language code and a little bit of a longer description here. First in Swedish, then go for English. Oh, missing. Right, and then we're going to have an instance of. Sometimes you have things to choose from here, and you can't really see here because when sharing the screen, you can see my dropdown, but the dropdown is actually, there it shows up. So I had a dropdown list of exactly one item, So it suggests that I should go with a railway station, and that's perfect for this one. And then I think the part of here, is that which lines it's on? Do you know that?
No, that's not usually how it's modeled.
No, so I'm gonna skip that.
Because
I can see in the drop down here the suggestion is Indian Railways. So,
okay.
but we do have a counter for this one. So it's in Sweden.
Because there is one for railway line property.
Yeah.
Which are...
This one is in the same municipality. Oh, you actually saw it when I hovered over there. I don't have the coordinate for this one, so we might return back to that. I do know the time zone. Now here it's going to be a little bit tricky. So I guess we're going to return to this here because we're going to have a qualifier for it. But let's start adding UTC plus 1. That's the one. And that's going to be for normal time. And then we're going to have the UTC plus 2 for the summer time. So we're going to need to remember that. Commons media. Actually, this was quite good because there's already a picture on Commons for this one. So someone went out and took a photo of this in 2007. And 13 years later, it's going to be used, finally. Because there's no Wikipedia article about this, so it hasn't been used before. So now I don't know who owns this. I don't even know who operates it.
What are they called? I should know this.
Jernhusen?
I've been there. Yeah, I believe it's Jernhusen. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Oh, you've been there already. So that would be the operator then. Or the owner.
Oh, I believe they own them nowadays, but they are definitely operating them. So they are at least operator.
Oh, at least operator. So we'll go for that. They do operate most of the railway stations in Sweden.
Yeah.
There we have them. Right. Great. And then I don't have the date of official opening. There's a great resource here for
everything about railways.
Everything about railways. And I've been looking it up here, and it doesn't even have the opening, but we have some early dates. So we could add latest, I guess. Should we do that?
I think we can have a qualifier with the status of the claim, saying that it's the earliest one we know, so it's an estimate or something like that.
But let's do that not in Cradle, I think, so we can actually. And then here for connecting lines, I know it's, and that this is why I started this. So this is the south main line. Let's see if we. Southern main line, yes, there we have it. And I have no idea of the number of platform tracks.
And I can just confirm that the operator is the right one.
All right, great. So let's go with this. So I fill in.
We have Paul here who actually got the coordinates for us.
Oh, someone got the coordinates for us. That's good. So let's see if I can copy it from here in some way. I don't think I can do it. This doesn't. So I see if I can just write it here. So it's 58 odd 038 048 75 493. Were you able to copy it? All right. Yes. Oh, that's perfect. We have some sources later as well. And that's actually a thing here in the instructions here. You cannot add sources through the tool, so you should be mindful to go back and visit the item and add the sources where you can. So I think this is. Was that the? Did I get it right there? Yes, I did. 493. So we'll have to go back here and check this. Oh no. Did I not log in before? I thought I did. So we might lose this now.
Let's learn.
Allow. Hard lessons learned.
If you know,
If
try
I go back,
backspace, right? Exactly. Might your browser save you? Maybe.
No luck.
Ouch.
Ouch. So we'll try to do this very quickly then. Less explanations this time, because you've already seen it. So this is something you should do next time when you're doing this. Look in the top right corner, see if you're already logged in before you're starting.
Yeah, and this is generally good practice in many of these tools. I did the same in quick statements just the other day.
Now here's a question I come back to and then doing something different. I'm adding the country when not doing it in Swedish.
I usually do the same.
Because I think if you know Swedish, you know Tranås.
I hope so.
Possibly. Perhaps not.
It's not a super big place.
No, but it's a name you remember because it's a funny name.
And it's clearly Swedish.
Yes. Right one there. This one again. So this is exciting TV looking TV. That's old. Well, did I? Yes, I have this one still. Good. Networks. And Southern Main Line. Oh, that was the same. Yes. All right. That was. Oh, and we'll add this one again. 58. 3. 8. Oh. So 493. All right, there we go. Second try. Now where's the save button?
In the bottom?
Maybe? There. That's where I didn't see it before because I wasn't logged in, so I couldn't save it. All right, let's see if this works. Creating item. And did I get something? No. It's still, we have a wheel up here. I could, of course, go and check my contributions and see if something's happened already. Yes, we do have a Tranås station here. Perfect. So let's see. Oh, that looks right on spot there. So that one was good. We're gonna edit these. We're gonna valid in period, and this is gonna be normal time. It's not normal time in. English. I'll try the Swedish. Standard time. All
Standard
right.
time, right.
There we go. No? What? That was intermediary error, and this one is summertime. Daylight saving time, right? Yes. Here we also have another question from Paul. Why there's this problem with Cradle that you save it and you let it spin forever? No, I have no idea really. And I'm not sure if it's always like that or if it's just sometimes either, but I've noticed it a couple of times before. Now, let's see where we were. You had some nice sources as well. So I'm gonna open it up here in the screen. This is the open data portal. We see that Jernhusen is the operator over here. So we're gonna add that as a reference for this, reference URL, and retrieve date today. Thank you for that.
Great.
Very good. And now for the important part that we couldn't do there, we're actually going to hook it up. And that's done through the adjacent station. And here I don't remember it by heart, so I'm going to go check the southern main line here. It's a great little... No, I don't think it's Eksjö. I think we have Nässjö and Mjölby on either side. One going towards Malmö and one towards Stockholm. So
do they still have a railway station in Kropp?
I don't know.
They might not have one.
Start here with Nässjö station. There we have it. And we're going to add the qualifier here. It's going to be connecting line. Southern main line. And is it towards?
Yes. I think so.
And this one was towards Malmö Central Station. And publish that one. So now it's connected in one direction, and then we're gonna add it to, where did I say? Did I say Mjölby? I did say Mjölby. So the railway station, no station. And this one is also the connecting line. This could feel like it's a little bit redundant, but when you come to stations where you have several crossing, it becomes important to tell them apart.
Yeah, and it also changes in time, which is the next station or the former station.
Yeah.
It can end up being rather complex.
Towards Stockholm. Central Station. There we have it. And now we see here two very helpful little flags, because of course these stations should mention the same but the other way, which I couldn't add before because this item didn't exist. So let's go down here and see. We have one from towards Malmö, so we're going to point back then. So if you were going from Nässjö towards Stockholm, you would go to Tranås station that we just created. Oh, cannot find it. Let's just use this one. There it is. Still the same line, connecting line, southern main line. And this one is towards. This one is going to be towards Stockholm Central Station as well. Here we have it. So now there shouldn't be a flag on this one when it saves. Does it save? Did I push? Oh, there we go. Publishing. Great. And one more to tidy up here. Mjölby Station. All right, yes. So here we have some other commuter rail as well. So here we see it, the importance of having it. So this one will point also back to Tranås station. Like this. And the connecting line. And main. And towards. Did I do it right now? I might have done it. Let's check out this again. Oh, it should be Katrineholm. These one are just by connection, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix it.
Right.
But this one is towards Malmö. So I have 2 errors to correct. Luckily, I was on the case before, so I could spot it. So this Stockholm is wrong. This one should be Katrineholm. The actual end of the line is. I'm going to copy this now so I can quickly fix it on Nässjö here. Not in Stockholm, because that's, if I can get the button, there we go. So we'll change that.
Right.
And now I think we have the connection.
And it should be connection kind of far now, right?
It should be, and because since this one actually connects with some other lines, it might actually hook up quite a lot.
Yeah, because Katrineholm is one of those like railway centers where there are like railways in 4 different directions.
Yeah, and you don't really see it here, but this connection is also only missing. No, there's another one. Now it's there might be. No, so it's going to be another stop in here somewhere before hooking up everything.
Okay.
But we could of course run this again and see what happens.
Let's see if it is updated.
Yeah, I'm just going to press reload on the browser and see if we're lucky. We might not be. So the tension is high. And I don't think I'm going to try to create a new Cradle. I'm going to save that task for another time. But I might actually... Oh, see how much got connected there. You're right.
Is it Trondheim we reached?
I think we reached all the way up to Trondheim with that edit.
Or almost. It's a little tricky to see.
Yeah, let's see if my browser can handle this even. All right. So as you can see here, we're missing one station over here. That was the second one I was about to do, and then we're missing down here 2 stations.
Yeah.
Down here.
We can see Katrineholm in this where the railroad is splitting.
Here. Yes. Yeah. Very important hub for this. Of course, we were missing the big main lines.
The iron ore line would be nice to have. And we would
nicely modeled in Norway here. That was cool.
Yeah.
So I actually edited 3 items. I'm not sure if I did need to edit all of them or if it's hooks up anyway, but it's kind of cool. I created one item and we got this lot of data for free. That's warms the heart.
Yeah. Let's double check if it was Trondheim we reached, because
yes, it's going up all here.
Yeah.
No, Bodø.
No, Bodø. Right.
That's even farther there.
It is, I believe. It's.
Where do we have Trondheim? Is that over here? No,
No,
Trondheim
it's
is
down.
This is the Trondheim.
Yeah. And we can see
show off our bad geography skills here. All Norwegian listeners is outraged. Or viewers. So yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that. It won't give you much more than repetition seeing me doing this station. It's going to be exactly the same thing. I'm going to add a few things in the Cradle and then hook them up with the two stations in the end. And this won't actually add anything to the map immediately because they've found their right way around. I like how this one hooked together. I didn't know about this. That's pretty cool. I was working with it here in Gothenburg, but there's missing here.
Yeah.
We do have a railway going over here to Kalmar, crossing here.
To the north towards Oslo as well.
Yeah. And of course we have, I think here we're seeing the commuter trains.
Looks like
and the subway as well. So they're sort of hooks into each other through the stations. That's quite cool. And we're going up to Uppsala here, and we're missing. There's one station in between Gävle and Uppsala for connecting these together. Tierp was missing as well. So yeah. Can you put the QID of the station chat? Yes, I can. So I'm actually. Let's see. Where do we have it? Tranås station. So let's do it like this. I'm gonna add it to a new banner here. This is the new QID if you want to go see it. Sometimes it seems like the search isn't finding new items as quickly as you would hope.
No, it's another index just as the query service. There's another one just for text search.
Yeah. All right. So that was my railway Cradle. And
great.
Yeah. Give this another second for Paul to be able to copy it.
Yes. I've been writing a lot of maintenance queries lately for glaciers. And one of the ones I wrote that I found very useful is glaciers by country and having a different color for each country. It's gonna go and run this query. Let's see, we got kind of updated data as well a couple of seconds ago. Lovely. And I get about 7,000 glaciers, and we can actually see here that there are a lot of different colors going on. We can see this brown one, for example. If I just click it, it's Norway, and we can confirm that that's United Kingdom. It also got a brown color, but I believe this island is a part of Norway.
Oh, yes. I did not know. I learned something.
Oh, today. This is actually, I'm pretty sure it's the world's most remote island.
From everything else.
And it was a real pain to figure out what continent it was a part of. But this is a really neat little trick. Not only that I can figure things out, but I can very often see that a glacier, if we go here to Alaska, for example, we can see that it doesn't have the same color on everything. I can click this one and see that this says Chile, and that just isn't correct. And I can click this one and see that it's the same. And Here we got one that says Canada.
Closer than Chile, but not
Yeah,
right.
it's closer, and here we got something different. No, that's Canada as well. And I just find this very useful
Yes, I can see that.
to find errors. I won't go and correct those. I will one day, but not tonight. I'm hoping someone else will do it actually. No one ever showed it. But it's really neat little trick, and it's really easy to get one's queries in different colors. So I'm gonna
Right.
show how that is done. So there are a couple of magic things going on in Wikidata SparkQL. For example, we got this service label, and you just name a
Can you
variable.
zoom in once or twice?
Yes.
All right, thanks.
And you just take the name of your queue number variable and says label afterwards, and it knows that it will display it as a label. And there is a very interesting thing you can also do. So I'm just gonna remove what actually does all this color magic. There are exactly 2 lines. I'm just gonna rewrite them so I can explain them. So if I run this now, I should have removed the colors. It should just be plain old good queries where I call coordinate C. And I get the normal red color all over the map. It still have country because I have displayed it, but that's it. So there is a magic variable when you are using the map that's called layer. As simple as that. And you can actually use this for any type of property you have selected. For example, we have selected country for all of this. And if I just need to hook that up to layer, and this will know, okay, for each of the unique value in country, use another color. So if I just showcase this, we use bind to say that turn this value or author variable and name it into this variable. So we want to bind layer. We want to bind country. We want to use the existing one. And we want to name country. Let's try the spelling here.
Yes.
As layer. Let's hope it's this layer and not layers. Yeah, so you just name it layer, and this will do the trick. And I'm pretty sure you can even do it like this. Let's not have even say country. You say layer directly, like that. It's a little less clear, but it still makes the trick. We can select here on P17 and see that it says country. So I can run this, and we still get the colors. Something we can notice is that it has different colors each time. We can see that Canada and the US now got the same color, and previously Norway and Sweden got the same color, but it has difference now. So this way isn't like super sure because there are a limited amount of colors here. But you can still just run it, and if another trick you might need to use is because when you use the UI for the Wikidata query service, actually your queries are cached. So if I would run the exact same query soon after, it would be very fast because the server already knows. But you can actually break this just by making a random comment like this, and it will believe that this is a new query because it can't recognize it.
One question. Now that you removed the label, or rather the country, you have the country label in your selection. Could you do it a layer label there? Does that work?
Where?
In where you're selecting, you have country label in the top.
Yeah. Could you, this one I could remove. It does nothing.
But could you do layer label?
I'm pretty sure. If there isn't a conflict now between
that was
the magic.
my thinking here. Double magic here.
Let's try it. I think it should work. Let's see if I click something. Oh, here's the interesting one. Oh, right,
It
it's
worked.
Denmark. Yeah, it seems to work. This is
Yep.
called layer
Yep.
label now. We can
Nice.
combine those two. I'm just gonna illustrate this again. We can change this out for continent,
Ah.
which I'm pretty sure that is. So let's double check it. P30, yeah, right. I'm
And
just
now
gonna
we
run
might
it as
get
well.
unique colors because there's not that many continents.
No, there aren't that many, and there aren't that many glaciers which has country
Still 4,000.
continent stated. So we can see there is quite a big difference. We can still see that this is, for example, Antarctica. Antarctica here is orange. We can see that there are a couple of here which is stated. I'm pretty sure the coordinate is the error and not the actual statement. So it's always great when you're doing this type of math to double check, is it the coordinate or the label that's wrong?
Yeah.
For example, that glacier we had here in Greenland actually stated it's a part of Denmark, which is, in that case, it's the country that's wrong, but in many cases, it's actually the coordinate. I think that's the only case I have seen so far that's not the coordinate. Coordinate often get errors on imports and things like that. So this is a great way to find that type of problem. That was one of the things I wanted to show today. Another thing I want to show, I got inspired today by Chris, who shared this great map on Twitter
Yes.
that shows a color for the height of a mountain in Switzerland. And I got this query right here. It's a lovely, it does a color grade from red to black, where black is the high mountains and the lower one is red. And I just enjoy this query a lot. In particular because I did it with I used Norway here instead. So let's see where the country is actually stated down here. This is, by the way, a lovely query. It's like 10 lines to select data, and to make the colors, there's over 100. There's just
That's not one magic line.
This is just the implementation of a real algorithm to modify and scale colors. It's a lovely one. It really shows the power of SparkQL, where many would go to a programming language or something like that.
Yeah.
But I really got inspired by this because I typed Q20 here because I wanted to see what it said about Norway. Because Norway is a country where there are a lot of mountains and a lot of open use spatial data. So I got inspired and ran this because I was really hoping that it might fill up the entire country. And I can already spoil it. It did, which made a very lovely query. And I talked last time about, we showed off how to create quick statement results.
Right, 20,000 almost.
Exactly, in one country. And so we can see that it has all of Norway covered. Yeah, there is a little piece of Norway here we can see. No, it changed, of course. There are a little area here which I believe is like north of Lillehammer,
which is a little bit more flat.
Which, yeah, apparently it's a little bit more flat. It doesn't match my view of the area, but okay, I can buy that it's a little flat.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy this, but we can't do this query for the entire world because the query times out and the visualization would break my browser anyway. But last time we talked about templates, and we just showed it briefly that there is a special comment in the editor you can do that allows you to create a template for something. And I just thought that this would be a great example where we could allow people to enter whatever country they wanted just in a drop down.
Yes.
and get this visualization for the country. And we can make this really easy using this query helper. This is entirely blank here because it has no way to understand this query we have written here, or Chris has written here. Credit where credit is due. But you can actually change this into whatever you want. So I just want a simple question here to select country. And this template comment, with this template comment, you can do this. So I don't really know how. I haven't used this myself. But I can clear, if I just read this, I can see that with a country, we aren't really making it into a variable. Let's take country. I think we need to make it a variable, so I'm just gonna country.
Is that the var in your template?
Exactly, and it's represented here to what's a variable, which is called var here. And if I just read this, I need to scroll to the side here. So I can state that I want this to be selectable. And I can do more than that. I can say that I do not only want this to be selectable, I want it to have a specific instance of. I want actually to say, I can specify a SparkQL query that limits the amount of items you can have here. And I am pretty sure I want it to be an instance of a country. I'm just gonna open Wikidata and go to Sweden to check what the instance of would be for a country. I imagine it's country, but
it might be. I think here we have something that is a little bit tricky because you also have the sovereign state, and but country might be good enough for your query.
Yeah, and we can actually write the OR query here if we would like to, because I believe that template method can take pretty advanced queries.
Yep.
OR queries are really simple in SparkQL as well. So that might be great. I think this might do it. We don't have a really.
So this is a help text.
I don't know what this does actually. I'm just trying it out as we go.
It sounded like it was a help text.
Yes, it did. Let's see what it said. Textual description of template representing world. So I'm just gonna call it country select.
Yes,
let's see if that does it. Let's see. I want to run it. I'm not gonna run it. I want to see if this one's already works. It does not. Let's see if I need to like reset it somehow. Opening it in a new tab here, pasting it in. Let's see. Or if this doesn't work and we will need to use filter. This is just general and show. Okay, this doesn't really work. Doesn't pick it up. Let's see if we need to actually select the country maybe. Like that. Let's see if I can initiate the query again. No. Okay. Let's present it well. I don't think this is the world most used thing. So what happens if it should time out, but let's see if it needs to have it in the URL or something like that. No. Let's see if I turn this into a short URL. It failed because it's too long. Interesting. Query select ID. Then we are gonna check an example to see what we did wrong. I'm pretty sure there is an example usage of the template.
Yeah, you showed it last time.
Oh, right. Okay, let's see what's going on. Presidents of country and their spouses.
I think you need to actually, that's the thing. You have to write country in the...
Oh, in the template. Or in the comments, so to say.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's try that. I'm gonna cheat and just say country selector. No. Let's see if it has updated this one. It hasn't updated the URL.
All right.
See, it should update when I try to run it. It will, of course, time out.
Yes, now that one is...
Let's open and close this. It should not look like this. Let's see what this looks like to begin with. If we open this, you can see it says precedence. Right, we need to reference it like that. Makes sense. And then it's limits to countries. Oh, I can see what they're doing here. They have a predefined one as well. In the start of the query, they already named that we got this, so that if you press run, it already got a country.
All right.
Let's see if that's what we need to do. Yeah, let's bind the United States there as a default one. Let's see. Let's make sure to run this again. It queried out, it timed out down here, so we can. It's a lot of scrolling in this one. Oh, it broke. Yes, because it has more than one select.
Yep.
Let's see. And just to look at this one, did it select country? No, it didn't. We don't need to do that. Then that's not. Let's try to run it again to make sure the URL is updated, if that is what it's reading. It should also now work perfectly because we are using a country. I'm gonna close this once again. It doesn't seem to work here. My next try is to have something in front of that. Slightly random. Country, query.
You're not selecting country? Or do you need to?
Am I not selecting country?
Is the precedence in the select?
Oh, let's see. Now my browser tries to render the map down there. Select ID. Oops. This is a tricky one. Select ID where ID.
Should that be ID or should that be country?
Yeah, this should be ID, I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Let's double check it. Because we are already defining query one step ahead.
All right.
It's supposed to be ID. This was slightly disappointing. If we're able to do the map for the United States, we can see some odd things here. Orchard-wise, I imagine it could be correct. Some US overseas territories.
Yep, probably.
Okay, but still no working query helper. Right. I'm gonna trigger the URL update. Entirely potentially unnecessary. Country query select. Let's see if we have done something obviously wrong. Let's double check this query. We can just do it like this. Or just run this one. And we can see that we only got the countries, 180 according to this. And now it renders the map, so I can't really do much. Okay. Let's see if it's that we have a little too advanced query here. Do we have this? Yes, we have a continent query here for the glaciers. Let's make this simple. Let's do it. Oh, could it be that template need to be on the first line? That's another one worth checking, actually. Let's run it. I hope not, but it could be. Let's see what this says now. It didn't change.
And I don't think you need to run it, because when I take up the example, I can see it when pressing the I, even before running it the first time. So I don't have it in the URL.
All right. Okay, that's great to know. Let's see if we can change this one. I'm gonna hook it up to that layer one directly and press I. Here we just got the normal one. If we would not have a template, let's see what happens if I do like this. It's clearly updated this time, at least. Instance of any glaciers, subclass of any glacier, okay. Country coordinate location, but it doesn't allow us to set this one.
Well, now you don't have the country in your query anywhere.
Yes, but I'm not calling it country, and right here. I just named
layer.
it layer.
Yes.
Let's try that.
No.
And I'm gonna trigger everything like that. Reset it. Oh no! This is slightly disappointing. It seems to be trickier than expected. And we are about to run out of time.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Bible of Wikidata SparkQL and see if it says something. I think that's our last line of defense today.
All right. So
it's the SparkQL handbook over at Wikibooks. And it actually got something called templates here. Let's see if it's Wikidata templates. Yes. The helper comment template can build a simple template where the user can choose one or more variables to change the query without needing to know the SparkQL query language. Yes. This is the same example as we're in the examples editor. The template contains the text on one or more variables, right? And optionally a query, right? We could try that one to begin. And this is used as a default one, exactly as before. Gonna try it on this more basic one. So what I want to try here is I want to try it just without this query part, which would allow us to essentially search all of Wikidata. So I'm pretty sure I can do this. And it still doesn't seem to recognize this.
It updated, but
still doesn't recognize that we have a template in here. I guess that's my try for today. I got a bit of homework to do.
yes.
I really want to. Oh, I guess my weekend just blew away here.
Oh, don't look it like that. Look like, oh, you got something fun to do this weekend.
Right. It's just Wikidata editing.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't really see what I did here.
If you're doing the opposite and take your query and paste it into this example.
Right. We could try this. That one. Just gonna try this basic example. I'm gonna name everything country first.
Yeah. And see if it's just some magic.
Yeah, it seemed odd. And in the first one, we couldn't even see this one updating as we clearly can here. And this is the one. Let's see. No. That is very odd. That it worked. The template worked itself, but then it broke. Could it be that? Let's see if I just make this a little simpler. Now it recognized my change, but if I remove something more, trying to get it down to the smallest component possible here. No, still nothing. If I remove like everything here then. No, it says absolutely nothing. It broke again. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna be able to try this one. So essentially I've been able to at least show you the example where
you showed some nice magic.
I showed some nice maps and that's not right. And also how you can find this type of errors.
Yes.
Which is incredibly useful.
And I'm gonna start using layer more now.
Yes, exactly. It was my main point actually. I've still been able to make my main point that it's super easy to get this. They usually look very advanced, many queries, and particularly those with like colors and maps. But it's just that simple basic keywords, and it's incredibly useful as well for editing, like finding these small errors like this one.
The thing you showed last week, where you made the output go into be easily pastable into quick statements.
Yeah,
I've been using it a lot this week.
I can imagine it was a game changer for me as well.
Like it saves me a couple of clicks, not needing to going into the quick statements. No. But when you're doing it like quite a lot, like a few clicks is still a few clicks.
I think it also helps that it keeps you entirely in your web browser, so you don't need to switch into Excel or something like that. You can just stay where you are. I
need to have a text editor to copy and paste it. What I download. Yeah, but it's
that's it. And if you change your default editor for CSV to your web browser, you're all good to go. I did even that to make it, because then when I download it, it just pops up in my browser and I copy paste it. I need to remember always to change back, but that's it.
Can you show us how you did that? So is that a binding for the OS or is it for the web browser?
Exactly. It's in. I believe it's in my settings.
All right.
At least on. It might be different, but on Ubuntu, it's in your settings.
All right. Yes.
So
I
you
think I
can
know.
select a couple of different programs to
Yeah.
open files. Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
I think we're done for the day.
Okay. So we learned a little bit about Cradle, and we learned some magic with layers and colors, and I hope that we're going to see a lot more colorful maps coming out now in
Yes.
the community.
And I think we're gonna do following up on that, how to actually select your own colors. We could see this map
All
which has
right.
the color grade. Of course, you can bind your own colors to things.
Yes, I think
That would
I've
be
done
very
something
cool.
back a long time ago where I was actually binding the colors to political parties because I wanted to show
Yes.
the exact colors because that will be recognizable for people.
Yeah, I think that was one of the example when you could do it directly on Wikipedia with the cartographer extension.
Yeah.
So that's another great use case for this. It's not one-to-one exactly, but it's something can be built upon. I think that's another episode as well. And hopefully, I until the next time I try to do the templates, I will figure out the issue first.
All right.
And I'm probably gonna show you how I figured it out somehow, which is likely asking someone.
Yeah, which is the great thing with our community.
Exactly.
Okay, so until next time.
Until next time.
Have a nice Wikidata editing, everybody.